Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on youtube.com. With me, Stuttering Craig. You got a goal? Go get it. Adam Krigler.
Hey, buddy.
Blab.
Hi, chat. I love you. Mwah.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
Hi, guys.
And brought to you by you, the G2 community, at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the number one gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble and Twitch and everywhere else on the internet. Good to see you guys. What's going on? I'm Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the number one video game and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. Hello, everybody. Good to see you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the finale of a week of phenomenal programming. Man, it's been a big week, big fun week. Lots of stuff going on. Speaking of lots of stuff going on, good Lord, what's going on with this guy? Hello, Travis.
I enjoy that I was in a women's workout uniform and that.
We were going to ask you about that. We were going to ask, do you like it?
I think my Twitter reaction was perfect.
Oh, we didn't see it. Hold on, we'll get to that in a minute.
That's what it is.
We'll get to it in a minute. Okay. Hello, Blabs. How are you?
Hi, happy Friday. Thank you. It's Friday. I'm happy.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm with you. It has been a long-ass week.
Yeah.
Also joining us, the greatest gamer in the room, of course. It's Adam Krigler. Hello, Adam.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, buddy. Good. A little tired, not going to lie. Little tired, but I'm okay. It's been a lot, man. Been a very long week, but I cannot complain.
Is it the funathons? Are you having too much fun?
Listen, my fun level is through the roof. It's ridiculous.
That's why you're so tired, see?
But hey, I started playing Mario 64 yesterday, and I may be the worst Mario 64 player in the history of Earth.
You know, I'm not really surprised, I'll be honest.
As good as I am at Mario 1, 2, 3 World, I am that bad at Mario 64. So
it's called Side Scrollers. It makes sense. You started the Side Scrollers podcast, not the 3D World podcast. Doesn't have the same ring to it, though. But
the 3D platformer world does not, or the podcast does not have the same ring to it. You are correct, for sure.
Yeah.
But yes, so we have a busy week. We have the Mario Funathon continuing today at 1:00. I'm going to need you there if you are good at Mario 64 because I am bad. And I honestly don't really know where I'm going in it. So please show up and help me out.
That's
at
stairs?
1:00. There are multiple sets of stairs. Yes,
I'm not going to be there.
I
I have a live recording actually from the stream yesterday when you started playing. Let's tune in. There it is. That was actual footage from your gameplay yesterday.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I wish I could tell you that you weren't right, but you're absolutely right.
There's actually an infinite staircase in Mario 64.
My
There is.
biggest issue, stairs.
You can't just do the jumping up trick. Come on.
That's what I wanted to do.
Get good. Well, I was
I
talking
can't
to
do that,
Craig,
maybe.
actually.
Oh.
But you know what? I'll include you, Blabs. Get good.
I do need to get good. It's fine. I acknowledge.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
Acknowledge me.
I think he was talking about the jumping backwards until you get to and it speeds you up that infinite staircase.
Get good. It's a skill issue, obviously.
Big time. I just, I'm going to hold off on this because I have a larger issue with, I think, N64 games, which I think I'll bring to the table sooner than later. I have a theory that's percolating in the back of my brain that I'd like to bring forth. So
You're not talented enough?
It's not there yet. No, it's not about talent. Not quite there yet.
Any chance I get, I'm going to use. So.
No. So look, we got a fun show today. Obviously, we're going to be talking a lot of Disney stuff today. We had a gaming heavy show yesterday. Disney is in the news in a major way today. So we're going to be hitting a lot of the Indiana Jones reaction stuff that came out yesterday. a $2 billion investment that Disney put out has gone up in flames.
The hotel? Are you talking about the hotel?
Right.
Hotel?
Nintendo is adding more opportunities to add to the Funathon for me, which is great.
I like it.
And we're going to get into a follow-up with the story that we hit on yesterday. Very big story, which that spoilers abound potentially. So we'll get to that very shortly. If you guys are watching us over on Rumble, say hello and hit the follow button. We are past 1,000 followers over on Rumble. It was a pleasure to see everybody. I see Galaxy Red over there. Good to see you, Diana. Hopefully, if you're over there as well, what's up? Next week, we have Camelot coming up on Monday. Camelot 331 will be joining us. We also have Quarterblack Garrett and Shagsworth joining us later in the week. So we got a lot of great guests coming up. Over the next few days, you'll be seeing some social posts going up from an interview with Keemstar. Those will be going up and hopefully letting people know that we had the larger one-on-one a couple nights ago, which was really good. I'm going to be slicing up the Rich interview today when he was on talking about some of this stuff. So you'll be seeing those going up on the channel as well. That's kind of where it's at right now. Got a lot going on. If you guys are thinking about getting into podcasting, I want to remind you guys that we have our StreamYard affiliate link down below. If you guys never use StreamYard, we use it every single day for Side Scrollers. It's a great way to get your podcast off the ground. Make sure you use our link. We see a benefit from that. It is a free product that you guys can test out for yourself. If you think it's something that you like, you can actually upgrade and, then you can become a super pro podcaster like us and do all sorts of great things like Adam Krigler does on a day-to-day basis, right? Be like Adam. Use StreamYard. There you go.
It should be a t-shirt. Be like Adam.
Be like Adam.
And then on the back says JK.
As long as someone else make damn.
If you're gonna make a T-shirt like that, it's gotta be like Krigler because Adam could be any Adam.
No, I kind of like how it's vague.
G2 on it, so obviously you got to have the G2, right? I want to call some attention to what Doug Miller in chat just said. Melanie Mack needs to be a guest. I agree. We got to get Melanie on here. She's rad.
I 100% agree. I would love to have Melanie Mack on the show. As a matter of fact, very early on, I was DMing with Melanie Mack, and I was almost to the point to where I was going to ask if she wanted to be a regular host on the show. I think Melanie Mack is spectacular, and the fact that we haven't had her on the show for 3 months drives me crazy. So
what's up with that?
I don't know.
We failed.
I'll say this: I actually met Melanie Mack about probably 10 years ago now.
Oh wow!
When she was just a young up and comer at Full Screen, when she was rep by Full Screen, when she was doing all the gaming stuff. And now she's super based and just kind of tells it like it is. But I remember meeting her like a decade
based
ago.
And butter pilled.
But yeah, man, she's into that butter. she's into that butter. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can't do that. She's like just eating a butter stick.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll need to talk to her about that. Like, what was when she was like, I'd really like to take just a bite of this stick of butter. Like, when was the first time she did that? And really, I'd like to ask that to anybody who's ever just taken.
That starts as a child. People do that as a child. I had a friend who would his mom told this story. She'd wake up and go into the fridge in the morning, and there'd be little handprints in the butter because he'd go in there in the middle of the night and take little handfuls of butter. Apparently,
what kid does that? Usually,
gross.
It's cereal and cookies. Nah, I'm gonna go for the butter.
Sounds disgusting to me, but I don't even put butter on toast.
Really?
Yeah,
butter's wonderful.
Butter's amazing.
The only thing I like butter for is putting it in the pan
fridge?
for grilled cheese.
Yeah, you need butter to cook with for sure. Excellent question, Blabs. Butter in the fridge or butter on the counter?
Fridge.
I think it depends on the circumstance. Yeah, I'm a fridge guy.
I say the counter because it's
circumstance.
If you cook and you use cold butter, a lot of times it'll fuck it up.
You are correct in that. Circumstance, absolutely.
Certainly in baking.
You just take the butter out earlier.
Well, let me tell you this.
In baking, it's important not to have cold butter.
I use olive oil for the most part instead of butter.
Here's a circumstance. Jonathan Bordeaux came in as a member for 7 months. That's awesome. Says ESPN, did you get Pat McAfee? Disney, yes. ESPN, what did it cost? Disney, my Star Wars Star Cruiser hotel. Did you guys hear about that? Do you know about Pat McAfee? So Pat McAfee has the best sports talk show on the internet. That's what he does for a living. He started off on he was an NFL punter who retired maybe a few years before he should have. And he retired and he went into essentially sports talk and podcasting. And he started over at Barstool Sports. And he's like honed his game over the past 6-7 years since he retired from the NFL. And now he has the biggest independent show on YouTube on period. He signed a 4-year, $120 million deal with DraftKings a couple years ago, just for a sponsorship deal. Like it's mega money, and he
ain't doing that bad, is he?
well, let me say this, man. But he also takes care of his people. He took a lot of that money. He's like, what am I ever going to do with all this money? And he spent he put like $10 million and like donated it to different kids clubs and all sorts of things. People that helped him along the way get to that point. He gave all of his guys a backpack full of like $100,000. He's like, here's $100,000, and he's like just handing it out. So he takes care of his folks. But he's seen this like prominent rise over the past few years since he launched his own show on YouTube. And he went from where we're at with a few hundred people watching us to a few thousand people, then 10,000 people, then 20,000. And he had Aaron Rodgers, who was the Green Bay Packers quarterback, on as a regular host. They're like friends from back when he played. And Aaron Rodgers was a very big player in the news the past few years, obviously with all the back stuff and, MVP. And he's a very prominent player in the most popular league in the world, at least in the United States. So every Wednesday he'd have massive numbers and it helped grow his show. Anyways, yesterday maybe 2 days ago, he announced that his show is going to be on ESPN as well. So ESPN like unloaded the money train on Pat McAfee. And it's been a very mixed bag, the reaction to it, because some people are like, the show's over, and so we'll kind of see what happens with that. So anyways, that's the reference right there.
I don't think that means the show's over. I mean, look at Howard Stern. Yeah, he went to a new place, but he made more money than he ever made and got more viewers than he ever had,
But... And yet his show, who actually listens to his show?
I don't, but.
Well, here's the issue with that. The issue is that when he went to Sirius XM radio, he could still say whatever he wanted, right? He could literally say the words. He could cuss if he wanted to. He could talk about whatever topics he wanted to. When you go from YouTube, where you can essentially say, 99% of what you want, right? Outside of that 1%. Well,
sorry, no, I don't agree with that statement.
I'm just saying, like there are things you can't touch on YouTube. We understand that, but you can say whatever words you want. You can drop F-bombs, right?
Okay, F-bombs, sure, but
when you can't say that on ESPN, right? So that's the concern, is like you're taking away the authenticity and et cetera, right?
Well, so, I wouldn't think that they're necessarily going to be cursing up a storm anyway. They're not. He doesn't seem like that type of person to me, does he?
Oh, Travis, you got to watch their show.
Apparently, I'm wrong. So
yeah. Listen, I love the Pat McAfee show.
I haven't watched it, so.
But Jonathan, we'll get into what you're talking about here in a little bit, man, with the Disney Star Cruiser here in a little bit. Rob on Wheels came in, getting us started with the £5 super chat. Says blah blah blah, Indies crap. Anyways, Johnny Depp. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Rob on Wheels. I'll need to pull that up. Yes, we had that as a story. Actually, Travis, can you put the link to that story from a couple days ago? It was from a couple days ago. Rob wanted us to talk about that, where he was approached on the red carpet. It's in a run sheet we had a couple days ago. Thank you very much. Extra Zero came in with the $4.99. Says, Craig, you should see if Handicapable Sean will tag in when he hits choke points in 3D games. God damn it, you're probably right. There are points that I will not be able to beat, and that Handicapable Sean will be able to beat with his chin.
Sean, can you bring your chin? I need some help.
He's like, you big old wussy. Kyle came in and says, Disney couldn't stay out of politics and are so arrogant to keep going down with it. They really suck at diversity. It feels forced and artificial.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is going to be a really interesting show to talk about that, because there's the title of today's show is that it sucks to admit this, and there's a lot to admit coming up in a little bit, which I'm going to get to that. I have some data that will drive me freaking crazy and drive you crazy as well. It's insane. CDI Arcade also came in as a tier 1 for 35 months over on Twitch, and Paul Hadouken gifted a membership to Cloud. That's awesome. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that, buddy. And the final one before we get into all the good stuff. On average, Joseph, I got an email after last night's stream that someone gifted me a membership, but I couldn't find who. So thank you to that mystery person. Well, I'll tell you what. It was we had a crazy membership day yesterday. We had Stardust Viking coming in. We had a lot of folks coming in dropping bombs. Jonathan Davis. It was nuts. Crazy day yesterday. So chances are you did. We're at over 700, almost 750 members on the channel.
It was
which
me.
Is spectacular.
It was
you,
5.
Travis.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Love it. Well, thank you, Trav. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for
Hard news.
Let's go. All right, so we're going to get into Disney here in a little bit, but I want to do a follow-up on a story from yesterday. We talked about Mortal Kombat 1 extensively yesterday for a good hour and how we were excited about it. We talked about the characters, the extra characters, like the bonus tag-in characters were going to be helping you and stuff. Well, spoilers abound, which I guess aren't really spoilers because it'll be announced eventually with some sort of something. But the Mortal Kombat 1 DLC characters have leaked via an Amazon listing. Would you guys like to hear them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the story. Over to Video Gamer, which is really a pretty good name for a website.
Classic.
Videogamer.com.
Elegant.
Elegant.
A listing, this is how it always is. A listing on Amazon Italy may have leaked the first DLC characters that will be coming to Mortal Kombat 1 following its launch in Combat Pack 1. Now, this is kind of interesting here. So I'm going to list these off. We have a spoiler warning here. Cover your ears, kids, if you don't want to hear these. So this is pretty interesting. The names listed are Quan Chi, Omni-Man, Ermac, Peacemaker, Takada, and Homelander as the promised 6 characters, which, if accurate, means we'll be getting cross-franchise cameos that are a hallmark of the Mortal Kombat series from 2 Amazon Prime series, namely The Boys with Homelander and Invincible with Omni-Man, and 3 returning series characters, Ermac, Quan Chi, and Takada. Now, there's actually more spoilers here, but here's a list real quick of for those of you who are not familiar with Peacemaker. This is the John Cena character here from DC. So this is the character that he plays in the movie. And I'm not familiar with Omni-Man personally, but I am familiar with this guy's face, or this character's face. Do you guys know who Omni-Man is?
That was a good show. I highly suggest it. It was very good.
All right. And then obviously we have Homelander from The Boys, who has become kind of a meme in itself for the last few years. So I think that's a pretty big group of DLC right at the bat. Yeah, especially
have you seen
the
The Boys,
day after
Craig?
the launch. Yeah, so I watched the first 2 seasons of The Boys. Maybe first. I remember the first season I really enjoyed. I thought it was spectacular. I don't remember the second season so much, and I think there's a 3rd or 4th season at this point.
Third, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. It was at the point. So my wife and I watch shows before I stream and before she goes to bed. So she doesn't watch something that like with tons of blood and that's super serious before we go to bed because it makes her sleep bad. So that's kind of where we bowed out, because when I'm doing these evening streams, it's we have this very limited window to actually watch adult stuff because
I
kids
get
and stuff.
that.
So.
When I was watching Walking Dead, I would dream about zombies over and over, and I had to stop doing it before bed. It was nuts.
COVID says season 3 is awful, and so that's interesting. I have not got there, but I remember. Oh, really? You thought it was good?
Yeah, I like The Boys a lot. I think it was
cool.
It could have been better, but of the shows out there, The Boys was very entertaining.
Cool. It was definitely. I like the idea of The Boys a lot. Blabs, have you seen The Boys at all?
No. I know about
Okay.
it. Like, I know a lot of friends who've watched it, but I have really no interest in also if it's as gory. I tend to
it's
stay
gory.
away. Yeah,
Yeah,
those
it's
are not my
gory.
things. Like, I watched Outlander. Have you guys ever watched Outlander? And like, cause I read the books, and when the first season, when Jamie gets his hand stabbed with a knife and just threw it, I almost passed out. I came back from work and everything, and I was like, nope.
Well, so there's further spoilers here. Obviously, I think that's a pretty good list of DLC characters initially. I actually think the Mortal Kombat characters of Ermac, Quan Chi, and Takeda are actually kind of weak, but I like the third party characters who are part of it, especially Homelander. I think Homelander is a brilliant character for Mortal Kombat.
You know, there was a lot of people in chat yesterday saying like, "Oh, they don't know because they didn't play 11. Adam doesn't know, didn't play 11." And I didn't play 11. And according to the lore of what happened in 11, this is from Extra Zero. He actually sent me a message, and I'm just going to read it verbatim.
Please.
MK12 is a soft reboot. He says at the end of MK11 Aftermath, Liu Kang from the original and second timelines merged together to stop Shang Tsung. Raiden gives up his status as Elder God, and Liu Kang becomes one as the Fire God. Liu Kang has to reset the timeline after what Kronika and Shang Tsung does. He and newly mortal Raiden set out to do this, going back to meet/train Grand Kung Lao 500 years before the events of the first game. And then he then says, my guess is that he plucks his friends/allies from their timelines as the events setting would erase their existence, and somehow some of their enemies find a way through. I thought that was really interesting, and it actually does kind of make sense as how they're able to just reset and create this kind of new version of the game based on that lore.
It does
pretty
make
crazy.
sense, but this is the same thing. It goes back to what I said the other day about movies and time travel. It gets real convoluted, and if you miss one little thing of it, now where the fuck you at? You don't know what's going on. You can't miss it. It's like any show with time travel in it. You miss one episode, you're done. That's it. Like, so
Well,
you can't
unless
blame somebody
unless
for not
it's just
knowing.
restarting. Unless it's just restarting. Oh no, and I wasn't saying anyone was blaming us at all. It's just it would have made a lot more sense if we had known about the story of 11, and if the timeline gets reset and they're not trying to like maintain multiple times, and it's just everything, it goes back to this point and then that's it, that's the new timeline. That's a little different than trying to like go back and alter something and then like go into the future, and then suddenly there's like this butterfly effect that you forget about, and then like this and this doesn't make sense, and people are pointing out continuity holes. Whereas if it was some sort of a multiverse thing that Liu Kang became a god and Raiden became immortal, and they had to restart everything at this one point, and then that's for the point where the game begins. It's like they don't even have to worry about trying to maintain continuity because it doesn't matter. It's been reset completely. So it was just nice to be filled in a little bit from
when
Extra Zero. Shout out to Extra Zero.
When they make a clean
Cheers,
line
mate.
like that, it's much easier to keep track of, for sure.
I'll say this. That's the first time I've heard that. The idea that, so when I was reading that yesterday and it said the fire god Liu Kang, a little flag went off in the back of my brain being like, I've never heard Liu Kang called the fire god before.
Exactly.
Right. And I should have said something, but I didn't. But the idea of Raiden losing,
Follow your instincts, man.
Right. When the idea of Raiden though no longer being the thunder god or whatever he is, like that's Raiden. So I'm very intrigued to see what they do to Raiden now, because he doesn't have his. I'm assuming he doesn't have his. Yeah, his fire is his thunder powers and stuff. Can he teleport? I don't know. I'm intrigued.
That's the part that you would get confused on, because if you bought a new game, say 2 from now, and then played, well, Raiden's not a god anymore, so all of Mortal Kombat to you that was the story. You know what I'm saying?
So maybe he maintains his powers. Maybe he still has the powers, but if he dies, he dies. If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies.
Wasn't there a prior movie or game where he gave up his godhood anyway? I thought
there were. I think in Mortal Kombat 9 it was close. If I vaguely remember the story, there was something about him dying or something. It was some tragic event, and the story's always been mostly about Raiden and Liu Kang. Like they're the main protagonists in the movie, or in the series. And Liu Kang has been all over the place. At one point, Liu Kang was dead, and like Mortal Kombat. One of them he's literally dead. He's got chains on him and stuff, and then he's alive. It's as somebody I like the Mortal Kombat games. I'm not a fan of the franchise, right? If that makes sense. As somebody who was like looking at it from the outside in, who's not doesn't know the entire story, doesn't know the whole lore, it is extremely confusing, right? And that's the way I look at it when I see Mortal Kombat 1 after Mortal Kombat 11. I always look at it from the perspective of, if I'm looking at this from the outside, does it interest me to come back into the series? And or if I've never heard of this, would it bring me into the series for the first time? But it'll sell a quadrillion copies. So
if it is a full reboot or refreshing, then Raiden can be still a god. Who cares, right? Like Raiden is the lightning god, whatever. Liu Kang is he's just a fire god. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. I mean, if they're just gonna wipe the slate clean and start in this new ancient world without subways and cities and all this stuff, where they went with like 2 and 3, doesn't matter. Who cares? Raiden can just be the character that they want him to be, and same with all the rest of the characters. Like it's not. I don't think it's the biggest deal, because they're putting it out there. Like, we're starting fresh. This is Mortal Kombat 1. So this is the world that we're now using. Yeah, a lot of familiarities that you're going to see, but this is the new Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I think when you watch that trailer, he actually has fire come out of one side and blue come out of the other side. Is that blue fire, or is that ice, or is that thunder? Because I thought it was that Raiden gave up his power to make Liu a god, and then when they combined, he had Raiden's power. But that was I could be wrong. I didn't play it.
With our powers combined, Captain Planet. All right, so there's some more spoilers here. Adam hopped off for a second, but I'll get in here a little bit more. So we talked about like the cameo characters, and these are your like assist characters in this game. And one of the things that I was really excited about, Adam, one of the things I was really excited about was the Jean-Claude Van Damme skin, right? You guys remember I was like,
$110.
I was like, yeah. Here's the thing. In further spoiler territory, the listing also notes 5 cameo characters that have been promised in the first Combat Pack, as well as Tremor, Johnny Cage, Chameleon, Movado, and Farah. So
but it was a Johnny Cage skin, though.
Right. But Johnny Cage is not playable. He is an assist character in this game, which what? That makes me totally take a step back. Says, given Johnny Cage is presumed to be playable, as he'll be getting a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin, then this seemingly confirms that being a main playable character doesn't prevent them from being a cameo assist or vice versa. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
After seeing the chat, I looked it up, and actually Liu Kang is the fire thunder god after merging himself with Raiden and his revenant self. Now, since he goes back, there still should be another Raiden, so I don't know whether or not they're going to be 2 thunder gods or whatever, but or if that's like against the rules or something, but there still should be a Raiden back there who's a god, because they went back in time,
Well, Mortal Kombat 1, I think they've drawn me in. I'm interested in what they're doing for sure. So we'll obviously keep an eye on that as we go. Hey, Big Top came in.
This was the confusion that I was talking about. You know what I'm saying with time travel?
Well, we're talking about it. Big Top came in with a 5. Says, "Go Mario, go!" Oops, wrong stream. Go side scrollers, go! Hey, thank you so much, Big Top. Appreciate that.
On Rumble's side, Mayo Riot came in for $5 and says, "Happy Friday, everyone."
Thank you, Mayo Riot. And Unafraid Zio came in with the resub over on Twitch for 15 months. Unafraid Zio, great to see you, buddy.
Awesome.
All right, let's go over here. This is where Rob on Wheels. I said, Rob, please remind me about this story. And we were going to talk about this a couple days ago, but it got cut, which happens all the time on the show. We have a run sheet, and we just toss it out as we get into conversation. But here we are. We have Johnny Depp at Cannes, the Cannes, what is it called? It's just Cannes, right? It's the Cannes movie thing.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, have you ever heard of Cannes before?
Canes?
I think I've
No, not-
heard of it. But
It's
I don't
a
know
film
what it is.
festival where
Yeah,
they
it's
go
Canes
and they
Film
show
Festival, isn't
they
it?
show all the artsy films and all that, and
Yeah.
so that people can actually see them. The ones
It'd be
that
awesome.
you wouldn't normally get to see in the theater.
This would be way better if it was actually Johnny Depp was actually at Raising Cane's, the chicken finger place. Do you guys know Raising Cane's?
Is
No?
this the
That's a
video
place.
of him talking to the reporter?
Yeah.
Yes,
Let's go.
I love this shit.
Let's go check this out. So Johnny Depp was at on people who think he should not be at Cannes, and this was kind of his response. This is after all the obviously he went through a lot the last
The
year
Amber
or so.
Turd issue.
Yeah.
Before
let's
you
go-
play this, I think this should be everybody's response to anybody who asks a stupid ass question like this.
Yeah, any response for cancellation, basically.
Let's check it out.
Hi, this is Matt Donnelly from Variety. Mr. Depp, related to what you said earlier, there has been a bit of controversy about your presence here in Cannes regarding your past legal matters, personal legal matters. What would you say to those who think you should not have been here at the festival?
So sometimes the audio goes through a little wonky when we're doing StreamYard. The guy's just saying, hey, you've had legal issues. Some people don't think you should be here. How do you respond? And once again, I'd like to reiterate something I said yesterday. When people say, some people say this, what they're actually saying is that I feel this way, or I found somebody on Twitter who doesn't think this way. That's really what they're saying.
So we're talking theoretically about what would I do if there were people who didn't want me to come to the Cannes Film Festival? What if one day they did not allow me, under no circumstances, no matter what, I cannot go to McDonald's for life? Because somewhere, if you got them all in one room, there'd be 39 angry people watching me eat a Big Mac on a loop. Just for fun. Who are they? Why do they care? Some species, some tower of mashed potatoes covering the light of a computer screen, anonymous, with apparently a lot of spare time. I don't think I'm the one who should be worried. I think people should really think about what it's all about, really.
I think he has a point on the end there. I think he's making a point about society, and that you can find a group of people that will say anything is bad, and it could be the best thing in the world, but you can find a group of people that will say it's bad. So just because a group of people say it's bad, should we get rid of it?
Of course we should, Travis. We're gonna rid the world of everything. But my favorite thing is he goes on a. He's like me. Whenever I start talking, sometimes I have good intentions, and sometimes it takes a while to get to the end of the story or get to the point, right? And I think everybody gets his metaphor, but
he went a long way about it.
I do appreciate her face over here on the right, where she's kind of like, "What?"
Her too.
Right, and he's not wrong in that. Look, how many people are saying this? Everybody's saying this, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's like whatever. Adam, what you got?
I'm sick of those people. I'm sick of the people that complain. Like he said, these people that sit covered in computer screen lights, anonymous, with their entire focus on other people instead of trying to elevate themselves or those around them. There's too many people in this world that want to bring others down to their level so they feel good about themselves instead of realizing that they can actually spend that time to further themselves and make themselves stronger and make their own lives better. But no. Someone else is successful. Someone else is doing stuff that they should be able to do but aren't and can't because they're doing it. It's like that kind of attitude is permeating society and it's fucking killing us as humans.
You know what I want to know?
That's what I have to say.
Would they do the same thing and ask Amber Heard the same questions?
No, that's sexist.
Exactly.
No,
So
fuck Amber
like,
Heard.
just- Like, didn't she leave the country and she moved to Spain or some shit like that because of how people were treated? I'm like, bitch.
Well, and where's the
bitch.
line? Even if it's justifiable. So say he was guilty of everything Amber said,
Mhm.
and they didn't want him at Cannes. Cool. And they kicked him out. So where's the line? We don't want him in, like you said, McDonald's. We kick him out. We don't want him in Burger King. We kick him out. Where can he
Mhm.
go now?
Yeah.
Oh, this has happened though. I mean, there's been points where people have been ostracized for having
Mhm.
wrong think. You're not allowed to go here. You can't eat here. You're not allowed to go in this place because you didn't do this. Yeah, man, it's insane. But especially in a situation where, like, what was the result of his court case with that got him in controversy, right? What was the result?
He won.
We found out Amber Heard is a fucking bitch
Who
and
so-
the abuser.
Right, who shits in people's beds.
And she still has her job with Warner Brothers, even though Johnny Depp was not technically fired. He was kind of asked to leave, saying, "Hey, please go on your own will." Type of like it was fucked. Fact, they say.
So he's proven in the court of law to have won the case,
Mm-hmm.
and there's still controversy around it. Okay,
Didn't he lose something though? What something in the UK?
I will say
with
this.
the Sun publication.
No,
I can't
that
remember.
was so fucking corrupt though. If you watch that Umbrella Guys video on all the people that were involved in that case, the judge, the son, everything that was a fucking sham of a court case. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
bullshit.
Makes sense.
I will
And-
say this.
And their laws over there are shit
Backwards.
too. Yeah.
my logic is flawed. What I just said. He was proven in the court of law. Here's the big flaw. O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson was found innocent as well, and so I don't think we should be taking advice from O.J. about relationships and stuff. Just because he was found innocent. Anyways, so he lost the defamation case. Completely corrupt case. Judge had ties to Sun. Yeah, there you
Okay.
go. Anyways, it's just interesting, that once again it goes back to the court of public appeal of opinion, court of public opinion on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. I don't think you should ever deny service to anybody because you don't like what they said, as long as they are actively doing it there. If you're there doing it, screaming, yelling about it, causing a disturbance, fine. But who cares what somebody's opinion is if it's a business or an event or whatever? Who gives a fuck?
Let's go on to our big story for today.
Before we do, Diana Francisco over on Rumble says, "Good morning, loved ones. Glad you're back, Travis. Missed you yesterday." Thank
That's
you, Diana.
nice.
Cheers.
Hi,
Much
Diana.
love. Kale says, "What are you talking about, Craig?" OJ said, "If he did it." That's right. Good point. My fault. Okay, let's go to the big story here for today. This has kind of been trending on the internet last few days, and or I guess since yesterday. But there have been screenings of Indiana Jones, the new Indiana Jones, and this was a big headline on Variety yesterday. And Indiana Jones 5 gets lukewarm 5-minute Cannes ovation as Harrison Ford says an emotional goodbye. So it appears that the new Indiana Jones is not spectacular.
You know what's interesting? I before we kind of move on, because Johnny Depp, for those who don't know, got a 7-minute long Roris standing ovation for his film that was played. So it kind of links it, and just comparing too, because Johnny Depp, the court of public opinion, whatever, people freaking loved it. Like he was brought to tears. He was so moved by the fact that people were standing a 7-minute. So can you imagine that, a 7-minute standing
That's
ovation?
a long time.
And now imagine the difference when you have Harrison Ford, so according to this article, people were really excited when he showed up. When he showed up, everyone's like, Oh, it's because they love Harrison Ford, right? He's beloved. He's been around for, man, how many decades? He's been in the movie industry, and, and then you get a lackluster 5 minute. That's actually way worse than it should have just been shorter. Because the longer a lackluster, muted standing ovation, that's just like we're doing this because are we still? Are we almost done? Are we? Can we stop yet? No. Oh, we're still going. Okay. My hands are starting to. This is. It was like they say here. Look, the applause lasted for 5 minutes, but by Cannes standards, that's more of a polite formality. So you're forced to do a standing ovation. I don't know. I saw the standing ovation for Johnny Depp. It was legit. People were feeling it.
Think people wanted this last Indiana Jones movie to be really good because it's his last hurrah in it, and when that 5 minutes is bullshit,
that's why he's going to watch it. He even said it.
Disappointed in it.
Yeah, I'm not interested. It looks like
I don't want to go.
Okay, well, but I gotta say, there's this meme going around that people are like, fuck this movie. Have you seen it? It's not even a meme. It's just a quote from the movie. He's saying something about
Critical Drinker posted, right?
Right. So I disagree with a lot of people. Well, the Nazis stole from people. It's like, well, you stole from indigenous people, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so woke. And I'm like, that's actually every like emo, young, trying to be like damn the man kind of vibe of a in every movie forever. Like that's just kind of like. I don't agree. He did technically steal from indigenous people. Like I don't care. Like I feel like people see anything now and instantly just jump to that one side. Like I kind of get it.
Nobody
it seems like that's her character.
When that movie takes place in that era, nobody spoke like that.
What year does it take place?
Isn't
the 70s?
It like in the 1960s?
It's the 60s?
70s? No one said that back then.
Flower power is a big thing back then. They did talk like that.
Saying indigenous people and all that?
Well, I don't know if they would use that word.
Yeah, this one.
They certainly.
I fought the Nazis, and you stole from indigenous people too. And it's like, okay. I mean, that of all the things to be like complaining about, like, that's a little weak.
That showed it saying,
capitalism,
theft.
See, but we talked about that, and I was like, and I agree, that is bullshit because capitalism is actually amazing and has brought more people out of poverty than all of history. In human history, capitalism is amazing. Corporatism is when they scoop up all the power and milk everyone. For everyone's like, all these people bitching about capitalism, they're complaining about corporatism. That's not the same thing. Capitalism is amazing. Free market's amazing. Like that's actually why we've become so successful as human beings. They don't understand the difference because there's a huge difference. So like, throwing capitalism under the bus, it's like, all right, well, what you want communism? Because when has that worked? All right. Because I don't know, look at history, maybe learn a little bit of history. But when it comes to like that, like stealing from indigenous people, like, I mean, let's be real. Everyone stole from everyone, right? They're trying to make. She's just showing. Bad. She's showing her ignorance in that statement. Like people want to say that. It's like, man, shut the fuck up. And shut the fuck up. Everyone was a slave. Everyone stole from everyone. Everyone fought other people's lands. Like humans have been fighting each other since humans picked up a stick and learned how to throw it and kill someone else. So like, oh, I can have power over you with weapons. Then there was just like, who's got the bigger weapon? Who's got the bigger dick? Like it's always been a competition. So this kind of statement, it just shows like you're just an ignorant child. And that's what people should be focused on. I don't know. I
think it's the buildup of everything. You bring in Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who is known for her little woke bullshit.
What is she known for? I don't even. I've never
so she did
heard of her before.
Well, she was the robot in Solo that lost money. The woke one where Lando wants to fuck the robot and everything. So she's that, and she was in Fleabag, which is okay. I watched it. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's amazing!" because it breaks the fourth wall and all that. So she do something else? She wrote something else most recently. James Bond, wasn't it? Wasn't she involved in James Bond, the last one? I'm pretty sure she was involved in that with the rewrites and all. So people are a bit hesitant about her. And then you see the whole capitalism bit, and then you see how like she's like Indiana Jones like goddaughter or some shit like that, and they're just I think they're hesitant and they're like, oh shit, here we go. And I think they're really fed up with their franchises being messed up and destroyed, and so I guess they're very cautious.
From what I
Right.
see, from
understand.
what I'm getting from this movie is it's not paying like homage to Indiana Jones. It's almost like it's trying to pass the torch to this.
Mhm.
Well, Shia LaBeouf, he went crazy, so we can't. Whoa, we can't use him.
You should have.
Let's. I agree. I like Shia. I think he's
He's
crazy,
great.
but he's a
Oh, yeah.
great actor.
Yeah.
Like he's fantastic, and everything I've watched him in, I was like, this guy's pretty good. He's got some skills. That movie, what is it called? Fury. Is that the one where they're in a tank? The end of
I
World
don't
War
know.
II. Did you see that one?
Yeah. I know what you're
Great
talking about.
movie. Great movie, man. Really like that one.
So,
He's not famous anymore. Yeah, I guess not.
well, let me say this: the time period of this movie, according to this Screen Rant article, is 1969.
Right.
That is when this movie is supposed to take place. So whether or not they spoke like that or not, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. When did
there's a lot of hippie flower power stuff going on then, and anti-imperialism, like like them trying to say the UK shouldn't have colonies over in Asia and stuff like that was huge then. It was, you know what I'm saying? It's what the war was about in Vietnam.
Well, like I said, did people speak like that in 1969? Did people say what
Saying
you said?
that
I don't know.
word, I don't know, but
That's what. Yeah.
I do think there is
That's
an
nitpicking
argument.
then.
If people want to argue about the context of what was saying in that clip on Twitter, if an indigenous people doesn't exist anymore and there's artifacts there, going to get it and retrieving it and putting it in a museum, I don't think is stealing from indigenous people.
Right. And actually Raiders of the Lost, or not Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Temple of Doom.
He helps them.
The indigenous people actually steal from indigenous people, and he actually goes and helps take back their item that they've worshipped, the little freaking thing in their shrine. Like, so all I'm saying is I think it's like, who gives a fuck if there's an ignorant person? Like, it's actually showing that younger people are ignorant, and that's something that is truth. Young people tend to be ignorant in life. I mean, we are all ignorant on everything until we learn otherwise, right? Until we become wizened on these things. So I don't know. It's just, do you want us to like this character, Disney, or not? Because after the capitalism thing, after this shit, it's like, there's going to be more in there that people are going to be like, what the fuck is this? Like, are you trying to tell people how to be a good person? Because you're not a very good role model on that. And that's what a lot of these companies are doing, though. Let's teach the world how to be a proper human being.
Yeah,
you know what?
it's about
Fuck
preaching.
You.
Yeah,
Preaching.
I
Yeah, it's preachy.
I think there's a fine line, because certainly what some of the German and UK archaeologists did and Egypt was not good, with King Tut's tomb, when they go get the artifacts and take them to their country and put them on display. Well, they do have descendants in Egypt, put it in their museum. But like, for example, the peoples in South America and stuff who were literally never existed after that, they died off. Well, the Mexican or people living there aren't their descendants. You know what I'm saying? They live in the same place. Yes, they may have some blood relation, but they are not their descendants.
Well,
if this is the first half of the movie? What if at the very beginning she's this freaking spoiled brat, rotten, thinking she's freaking superior moral wise than everyone else, and Indy and her are like, he's just fucking fed up with her shit, and then she sees like the truth of the shit, and by the end she's like, man, we got to go steal this artifact from these people or some shit, like, who knows? That's
never
Go
happen.
save it.
that'll never happen. I know, but like who the fuck knows? Maybe they're actually laying it on thick so that she actually has some character development, and then realize that she was a fucking ignorant dumbass when she was earlier in the movie. Like, man, I really didn't see the big picture here, but now that I see it, I totally understand where you were. Because they're going back in time, right? So maybe she
don't know.
she sees some of the shit that he actually went through, that he actually helped indigenous people.
Well,
Who knows?
I'll say this: we've talked about Shia,
Probably
right, and being like the next Indy and all that stuff, and this is like the last Indiana Jones movie. They've said this is the last Indiana Jones movie, but
For now.
Bullshit.
that's what they said.
With
But-
Harrison
With
Ford.
Harrison Ford, right?
Well, then it's not Indiana Jones, right? But
Well,
anyways, but they are
Star
going to
Wars
do like
without Mark Hamill.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
You
That's all
know,
that's-
like,
so-
come
that
on.
quote
they're gonna
is
do-
in my
Somehow.
head.
they're going to do a TV series. But I'll tell you what, you know who nailed this?
And what's that TV series going to be called?
I don't know.
They already
Jones
did.
and the
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones and the extra 13 episodes.
They
Here we
already
are.
did Indiana Jones TV show called Young Indiana Jones.
Yes,
actually.
in 1990, 35 years ago. So, but I'll tell you, Nut Bunny nails it. If it's not Shia, the one person that needs to be Indiana Jones is Chris Pratt. We all know it. Chris Pratt is everything in Hollywood.
Travis's favorite.
He needs to be. But what's
mean-
interesting?
Could you see it though?
Yes,
Could you see it?
absolutely. Yes,
I know.
Chris-
It's like I could
he's
actually
perfect.
kind of
Yeah,
see
I can
it.
actually see it.
He's
He's been good
perfect.
at it, honestly.
I think he's too round. Is that weird?
like a face, like face.
Yeah, he's got like a rounder face, and Harrison Ford doesn't. He's a little more chiseled, and I feel like that kind of throws it off.
Is like top
I
tier.
actually think if you
Is he?
change his
Perhaps.
hair
Oh.
a bit
Oh.
and
Not now.
he
Back
got a
then.
good American
Right.
accent,
He's 80.
Timothy Chalamet would be a good Indiana Jones, I think, but that's my opinion.
Timothy? No, I don't agree.
No.
He's too thin.
He's very.
That's the
feminine,
opposite.
Honestly.
He went the
Yeah.
other way.
Harrison
Yeah,
Ford
he
was
is- he
pretty
is kind
thin and Indiana Jones, if you look back at it.
Yeah, but
Harrison Ford is not feminine
don't get me wrong.
whatsoever.
I like Timothy Chalamet. I think he's fucking awesome. Like he's great. I like everything he's in. But I think he's too androgynous. Whereas, sure, younger Harrison Ford was more of like, I'm a scoundrel, and shout out to his Han Solo days. I don't know. I feel a little different there about that.
So Games Radar put out a review of Indiana Jones, and this is contradictory to what the overall Rotten Tomatoes score is, which is I think it's right around 50%. But it says Indiana Jones in the Dial of Destiny review 4 out of 5, which is like 80%.
You know that's all bought and paid
So-
for.
Yeah, that's.
Well, let me go and read it
bullshit
real quick.
thing.
With Ford in fine form, Indy's Last Stand is a highly satisfying blend of action, humor, and emotion. There's a nostalgic, old-fashioned feel to the film, a rollicking, globe-trotting ride that pits Ford's intrepid adventurer against the Nazis once more. Certainly, it makes up for the 2008 outlandish Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls.
I'm sorry. The first sentence is
Sure.
too
I don't
funny
know what
because it
makes
says
up for that.
Ford in fine form. Like, first of all, he broke a body part of his while filming this. He had a bunch of stunt doubles, and like when they de-aged him, they used somebody else and then like CGI'd his face. So obviously, he's not in fine form when he made this movie.
Yeah, that's somebody
got a
who got some inside track to make a article and kissed his ass.
Yeah.
What's the
And
Rotten
also-
Tomatoes? I believe it's at
Oh.
like
Disney loves
43% right
them.
now.
Right.
So
Mm.
you guys remember maybe it was 2 weeks ago, we talked about a remake of White Man Can't Jump.
Yep.
So apparently the story of this movie, I just heard this on the radio this morning, is that I forget the guy who playing it. He's a rapper, white rapper guy. But anyway,
Eminem?
no, curly haired guy. Anyway, the story of it is he has 2 ACL problems, and so he can't play ball. So he goes to play ball to make money for stem cell treatment to treat his torn ACLs to play ball.
He has 2 ACLs injuries.
Yeah, that's what they said on the radio this morning.
Okay.
He
I
needs
don't care.
He needs stem
Okay.
cell whatever. And I'm like, That's literally the story of this movie. White man.
Does anyone
pinned down.
care? Does anyone
Trevor,
care? Raise
I mean-
raise your hand if you don't care.
I'll watch the movie, but where did that come from, Travis?
Yeah.
where
Because
did that?
we were just talking about new movies and if they should make them or not. And I thought, hey, this one sounds stupid too.
Anyway, to bring it back a little bit to Helena,
Thank you, Trav.
for John Williams, like back
Jack
in
Harlow,
September
that's
of
his name.
last year, actually came out and said and described Helena like for like her theme song, and he calls her a femme fatale, which is already for me a red flag from Disney. Femme fatale. So
I don't trust it.
Everything that I've heard, plus every like the statement that we just saw, like from Critical Drinker, that quote and everything. I mean, he didn't post it, obviously, he just shared it. But red flags. I have no interest in seeing this. You know, what I really hope is that the music is amazing because it's John Williams, and I really hope his last Indiana Jones is like powerful.
Let's go ahead and hit some of these super chats before we move on to more Disney news, and then the overarching why it sucks to admit this, which is the title of today's episode. Platypunk came in and says, "Where do sick and injured sandwiches go? The Mayo Clinic." But thank you very much. Creamnado says the only place you get a 7-minute standing ovation is film festivals and Soviet cabinet meetings. Anyways, greetings, comrades.
Now clap. Stand and clap.
Jeremy came in and says Phoebe Waller-Bridge was handpicked by Kathleen Kennedy and is a very large penis.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Handpicked.
St. G says the TV show / movie is just going to be called the Indiana Jones Saga.
With no Indiana Jones in it.
And check this out. Look at this. Brahmin Noodles came in with the 1999. Says, "Hello, love the show. It just goes back to what you were talking about a few days ago. Reboots change the franchise, usually for the worst. We need to create new movies instead of recycling the old classics for a quick buck."
Wait a minute.
Thank you
Wait
very
a minute.
much.
That's why I brought up White Man Can't Jump.
Travis is like, I'm justified. Fuck you guys. Like, damn, dude. Let it go.
All right. We're good. Here we go. So here we go. We got the next one from Disney, which this was shocking to hear yesterday that this was coming down. One of the biggest investments that Disney made over the last 5 years was this Disney Star Cruiser hotel. Now, Blabs, you look at Blabs over there. Blabs is so happy.
Let it burn.
It's winning a battle. It's not the war, but this is a huge victory, I think.
They fucked with Anakin for this stupid hotel. They fucked with Padme. No.
Well, let me give you a little background here. So this is from Yahoo News, obviously. Disney World's immersive Star Wars hotel closes less than 2 years after opening. And of course, they're like, here's how to get in it before it's gone. Well, nobody cares. Nobody cares. So this is funny. The first of its kind hotel has paused reservations, right? So what this is also the last of its kind. I promise you that when it comes to this. After less than 2 years from its opening, Disney's Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser will close in September. The park confirmed to Travel and Leisure on Thursday. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is one of our most creative projects ever and has been praised by our guests and recognized by setting a new bar for innovation and immersive entertainment. I'll tell you what it hasn't done. It hasn't set a new bar for revenue. Disney shares in a statement, this premium boutique experience gave us the opportunity to try new things on a smaller scale of 100 rooms. And as we prepare for its final voyage, we will take what we've learned to create future experiences that can reach more of our guests and fans. The never-before-done resort was a 2-night immersive experience unlike any other hotel on property, and it's closed. So there we are.
This could have been so fucking cool.
Yep.
They could have not centered it about Rey. They could have had Luke walking around. They could have had Han Solo walking around. They could have had all the legacy Star Wars stuff that people know and love. And it would have been a major hit. Like they could have just totally cater to the actual Star Wars fans, not the people that are just like, my ideology is being supported. Yay! Like, that's what Star Wars has become, essentially. They don't give a fuck about Star Wars. They just are told this is what you love now, right? And then also the fucking prices. It was insane. They weren't catering to the everyday people. They even came out and admitted, we only want rich people because they spend more money. It's like, what the fuck kind of attitude is that? Like, Star Wars was not just for the rich, it was for everybody. Like, the hero's journey is inspiring. That's what the original Star Wars did fantastic. The new one, there was no journey. She was just fucking powerful. Like, how? Oh, she's a Palpatine. Nope, she's a Skywalker. Shut the fuck up, you bigot. Like, that's the vibe. 6,000? Right. Wait, read that sentence. What?
Yes. During the 2-day trip, so that's one night. 2 days, 1 night trip. Guests receive hotel room, food and drink, a day trip to Star Wars Galaxy Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studio, a magic band, and valet service for a total cost around $6,000.
$6,000.
And like that doesn't even include other stuff. So if I remember correctly, food and drinks were like covered by the $6,000, but not all the food. So if you want something else at the bar or whatever, you had to pay extra.
You guys want to go to Disney's Galaxy?
Who the fuck can afford that? The past 4 years, like 3 years ago, before inflation hit, all right, ruining everyone's freaking savings. The average American couldn't handle a $400 emergency. If it was more than $400, they were fucked. Their whole shit would be thrown out of whack. They couldn't afford their bills, and they'd be fucking thrown into debt. Like, shit was bad. This was before inflation hit, right? Mm-hmm. Who the fuck can afford a $6,000 2-day, 1 night stay at this shithole? Like, what the fuck?
Disney never learned either. Go on, Craig.
It's insane.
I was going to say, let's take a look at this really quick. Well, I just want to say, hey, Mark One, thanks so much for the raid over on Twitch. Greatly appreciate that. 18 great folks coming in, experiencing us for the first time, live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate that. And I think, why would we need to pay $6,000 when we can just go on YouTube and watch the entire experience here? So we get it for free, baby. So this is what the hotel rooms look like. This is a $6,000 hotel room.
Very tiny.
Like, it is.
It looks cheap.
It does. It looks like Space Mountain in 1985. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Everything is cheap. And you know what's really sad is that Disney should have learned when they opened up the actual Galaxy's Edge theme park a couple years ago that nobody was really interested in the sequel trilogy. So instead of trying to make something new based on the originals and the prequels, which is not Disney because those are made by George Lucas, they went ahead and made the sequels like based on the hotel and everything. And then to top it off, because it still wasn't thriving, they start changing canon. So they said, oh, Anakin and Padme spent their honeymoon aboard this stupid Star Cruiser. They actually made that canon. They had all these different characters from all over the eras. Oh, we were on board the Galactic Star Cruiser trying to loop it in, and it bombed and tanked in their faces. And they just don't learn, right? They don't learn. Disney will never learn. And it's sad. I'm not gonna lie, it is sad. I love watching it burn, but it's still sad.
Okay, so looking at this set inside here, just looking at all the everything that's going on around outside of the actors and everything like that. This reminds me, and I don't know if you guys have ever been to Hollywood Studios before, but it reminds me of the interior of the Hollywood Tower Hotel, which is the Twilight Zone ride. And you get that as part of your admission here. And yeah, I'm not paying $6,000 for it. This obviously looks like, some sort of eating thing. They have a big show here as well. Well, so they have a big show here, and I want you to listen to like the reaction here.
Look how big his helmet
as the
is.
show goes on.
Here we go. It looks like Spaceballs. Look how big his helmet is. Wait, play this a little bit more.
Yeah, here we go.
You know why she does
everyone's
that,
like,
right?
"Yay!"
No, you know why she
No.
drops down, right? Where she's pretending to duck at a fire blaster? It's because they have the retractable lightsaber, but it can't be dueled. So she's like picking up the other lightsaber to go and fight. There's already one ignited down below.
Yeah, absolutely. You can actually see. They have this
so
one that pops out. That looks cool. Yep. Like you can actually see her change hands.
It's so bad. Like the entire choreography this has been going on for what, like a year, and they never improved it. Like, is this from the very beginning when they first came out, or like 2 months ago? But like, it's shit.
Here we go. Check it out. Like, watch her actually change hands right here. This is actually pretty outstanding. Wow, that's pretty cool effect. Not gonna lie, that's pretty cool effect.
Yeah.
Drop
great.
and watch her actually move her hand over.
It's so obvious. It's so bad. $6,000 for this, by the way, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, watch the fight. It's even better. Look at that. Boom, boom.
Nonstop. Now, this is the one thing. Lightsabers can like cut through everything. They're made of like giant particle lights, right? That's the idea. Is that this is I don't know. I just find this fascinating that they're gonna hit the like this right here. Shouldn't that cut right
melt.
through?
Yeah, it should melt.
There's 2 or 3 metals that lightsabers can't cut through, but I
doubt the railing's made out of it.
The railing on this ship, right?
It just so happens this piece of railing right here is not destructible.
Some of it's like the armor that Boba Fett wore, the Mandalorian armor. That's some of that metal, but it's so expensive. Like, that's the whole point of the show. Like,
that looks terrible. What is that?
Baby Yoda. Anyway, so $6,000. Oh, that does look really bad, doesn't it?
OG. That's OG Yoda.
That's original Yoda.
That's not Baby
Yoda.
Yoda.
All right.
He doesn't know Star Wars, Babs. It's we gotta.
I know Yoda. I know. That's not Baby Yoda. I know.
He ain't Yoda now like this.
He don't know.
No, I do. I do know. That's not Baby Yoda. That's OG. Well, I'll say this. It's fun to kind of sit here and we laugh about the failures of Disney, and we're like, oh, they spend so much money and it's failing, and it's like it's really fun. It's really fun. Here's the problem. Going back to the title of today's episode, why it sucks to admit this, because I have sales data and revenue data for Disney for the last 20 years. And I wanted to share that with you because we're sitting here and we're like, they're failing so hard. Man, Guardians of the Galaxy only made $500 million instead of $1 billion. It sucks so bad. And is
that, are you mocking yourself right now?
No, I'm just saying, just in general, like I mean, I kind of am. Yeah, I kind of am. Okay. Because this is sobering, and
they're making record amounts of profits due to the things they've purchased, but they're also running all of those things into the ground. So when Star Wars can't even be made anymore because people are so sick of it, what's it worth to you then?
Let's see this graph.
Let me tell you. Here is from 2009 when they made $36 billion annually as a company, all the way up until this is right before 2020. And this is the quarterly revenue. And then there's the big drop from theme parks. And it's like, oh, they're failing so hard. They only made $58 billion. And now if you look at their revenue, boom, 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 higher than it's ever been.
How much of that is movies? And how much of that is merchandise? And how much of that is theme parks? Because I would almost bet 80% of it's from movies.
I'm glad you asked that.
I think the revenue is
because I have that.
Parks are doing better.
I'm doing research here, y'all. Here's their revenue breakdown from 2022 to 2023. Their quarterly breakdown. You see their media and entertainment is obviously $14 billion. Once again, this is quarterly revenue. Their quarterly revenue. Okay. You can see their content and marketing, their sales. Look, every single one of them from year to year is up, with the exception of their networks, this is Disney Plus, I would imagine. Disney Plus and ESPN, linear networks.
Wouldn't those be ABC and stuff?
Linear
ESPN
networks.
ESPN is owned by Disney.
Right. I don't think it means Disney itself. I think it means ABC and ESPN and all that.
Well, I would say linear networks, Disney, ABC, any networks that they own, and I don't know if that includes Disney Plus, but either way, you can see everything is up. And that's what's sobering about this is we sit over here and we we're like, yay, they're failing. It's so great to see them fail. They're not failing. They're failing forward, and they're failing.
Hold on.
Where's the net worth?
I did actually hear Travis in chat. Travis Schiffer makes something because I've actually heard about this. Craig, they're getting sued because they adjusted their numbers illegally. Now, is that true? Because I did hear about this, that maybe these numbers are coming from them. Like, look, our investors, look how good we're doing. And then in reality, it's all bullshit.
Well, didn't they lose like what, like a whole bunch of subs for Disney Plus in the last year?
Did.
Yeah.
We were just did a story about it.
Yeah, so how is it possible that they're making money when they're losing money? Like, Eternals.
Well,
didn't
one
do
avenue.
well.
One avenue of money
Well,
is being lost.
I want to know how
Yeah,
much
but
of
like
this.
the Marvel movies haven't been doing well. They've been losing money for the most part, haven't they? Eternals, Shang-Chi was okay.
Only a couple
Spider-Man
of
was
them
okay.
have lost
Like
money.
Spider-Man did pretty well actually, but Guardians was okay. Ant-Man flopped, didn't it? Didn't it lose money?
I'd be curious
I
to
don't know.
find out how much of this money is made through subsidiaries. Like they own a lot of Fox now. How much of those are local news, local stations or whatever that pay for content to play every day, and how much of it is ABC or how much of it is ESPN or how much of, you know what I'm saying? How much of that is directly attributed to Disney, the company, and not a subsidiary?
So Dave Baobao says they're paying themselves to stream their own content. Okay, so here's the thing about this, right? That a lot of people don't grasp. They have to pay themselves for their own content because they have separate business entities. It's not just like Disney is here. No, it's Disney this, Disney streaming, right. Disney parks, Disney. They have hundreds, possibly thousands of businesses. And underneath the giant corporate Disney entity, right?
For example, they own 40% of Hulu.
Right.
So if this one pays this one, which pays this one, which pays this one, which pays this one, and they all are making revenue, but it's just money being circulated throughout their own company, that's all to add it up to be these numbers that we're seeing, because that's what
Correct.
It sounds like, and that sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
They are paying themselves, but that it is something that they
don't worry, investors, keep investing. We're doing great. We look at
yes.
we're on the up and up. We keep making money. Don't worry, board members. Your stock is just fine.
This is a pretty standard thing when it comes to larger businesses, right? Where you have multiple businesses. I remember hearing this like when we would license content to certain brands and things like that, and it was I like in Rooster Teeth. We'd work for Rooster Teeth, and it's like, well, we gotta pay this part of the company, which was technically a separate company. It's like, well, why? They're literally right there. We work them every day. They're like, well, it's a separate part of the company, so we got to invoice them. And there's invoices going between this part of the company, but it's literally just the next room over, and it's all just like
a lot of that's for
mumbo
tax
jumbo
purposes.
Of course, it is
to get tax.
Well, but they're also doing like, oh, you know what? We're gonna sell this service to ourselves. Yeah. Well, it's worth a shit ton. So, but we're gonna undercut all of that.
Yes.
But then we're gonna report that we're paying the top tier price because it's top tier service. So they're fluffing it. They're fluffing each other's fucking ball. Hold on. They're fluffing each other's balls because they just, why not? It looks good on paper. It looks good with the investors. It looks good for the stock prices. Like that's what these companies care about. The board members need to make their freaking paychecks, their $1 million paychecks. They need their yachts, and they need to keep everyone completely satisfied with their quarterly outlook, whatever. Everything's hunky dory, when in reality, it's all fucking smoke and mirrors.
Have they had a CEO change recently?
Yes. They went back to Bob Iger.
Usually when a CEO is going out, they do this and artificially inflate the stock price. So the outgoing CEO, when they get their $20 million bonus in stock for when they leave, which is in their contract, then they can sell it at a higher price.
Well, that was a while back though. It was probably 6 months ago when they changed over the CEO. But with that said, like they
can't sell it immediately, or it looks like insider trading.
Well, look, let's just be real. I mean, there's that goes on in every insider trading is a very real thing that nobody gets punished for except for the common man.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, I was gonna say, has anyone seen Nancy recently?
Sorry, I had something in my throat. My bad.
Well, I'll tell you this. That is I just feel like Disney will continue to fail up. And maybe, I'm just going based off their public numbers, right? And I couldn't find, I did some Googling here. I couldn't find, yeah, it's true. I couldn't find anything about them being sued about falsifying their numbers, just in a quick Google search. So if there is something like that online, please send it my way. I would love to kind of learn more about it. But yeah, them licensing their own content and stuff like that's insane to me, right? And I totally get it. So, but if these numbers hold true and they are still making, 50 whatever it is $billion, and every quarter almost $87 billion. It's like, are you kidding me? Like $1 billion a week. Ugh. But I will say this: Disney is getting a little more conscious of how they're spending their money. Especially with we've talked about the writer strike and everything coming up, because your Disney Plus and Hulu TV show libraries are about to get much smaller. Did you guys hear this? That they're pulling shows mainly for licensing, I would imagine. So it says Disney Plus and Hulu subscribers get to see a dramatic slimming down of what's available on the streaming service. Over 20 TV series from Hulu and Disney Plus are going to be removed by the end of May. The move, which is eerily reminiscent of Warner Brother Discovery's decision to pull countless shows and movies from HBO Max back catalog last year, is down to Disney's desire to cut on its streaming services cost. They're gonna remove Willow and The World, according to Jeff Goldblum. But Marvel and Star Wars will still be up there. So
yeah, there's a lot of other ones, but I didn't recognize any of them. And honestly, who fucking gives a shit? I mean, if you're still paying for this, paying money to this company, you're not going to stop paying money to this company because they got rid of these things. This isn't going to make any difference to anyone who they watch it for the Disney movies. They watch it for Marvel. They watch it for Star Wars. They don't care about Willow being gone or The Life According to Jeff Goldblum. This isn't going to make a difference at all. I don't really know why this is news. Okay. The people who pay for this shit, they don't give a fuck. They put the Disney movies on for their kids. That might be a reason why.
Yeah.
Maybe they have to pay royalties, and they're like, we're going to save money if we don't have to pay royalties for this Lucas shit. Let's get rid of all of the legacy characters so we don't have to pay royalties. It's all about saving money, dude.
Oh, yeah. Replacement. Reboot.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, you guys are asking about my mom. My mom just texted me.
She was supposed to come on and say
I
hi,
actually
wasn't
said
she?
that to Craig before we started. I was like, I'm still waiting for your mom's email.
Well, she says that we're out of control with the language today. Angry too. I don't think we're out of control or angry today. Do you feel that way?
Maybe it's me. Look, hey, Craig's mom. I'm a passionate person. Oh, you know what? Wait, can you give me a camera?
Yeah, please. By all means, go ahead.
Hi. Sometimes my passions, they just take control. There's a lot of things in life that might throw you a curveball. Sometimes you got to just swing for the fences. Sometimes you miss. Sometimes you hit that grand slam. Well, when I care about something, which one of the things I care about is you. And I want you to be successful. And I want all people to be successful. And when I see people that are creating victims and trying to demean others to try to control them, it really drives me crazy. And I want that to end. I want us all accountable for our actions. I'll certainly be accountable for mine because that's the only option. Otherwise, you're just being a little bitch. Don't be a little bitch. Thank you.
This has been Adam Krigler.
Well, we have that
to share
deep thoughts with Adam Krigler.
I heard
Right,
E-thought for a second. I was like, what?
Hold on, wait, I got it. I got it. Here, wait, I got it.
Mom, a heart.
Go ahead, share it real quick.
Sorry.
It's time for Deep Thoughts with Adam Krigler.
Thank you, Extra Zero.
There you go. Love it. She says, still love you guys. Stay passionate. I don't think I've said a whole lot of bad words at all today. Have I said bad words today? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't think so. Maybe it was me. I don't.
I did
mean,
say the word bitch. Sorry.
don't you
I did
stop
too.
that.
I said the F word twice too.
We're all grounded.
I don't think about that. I don't think about that. This isn't a show for children. We talk about a lot of cultural issues that are affecting adults. We're not talking about we talk about video games, but guess what? Adults play video games, but also there's this cultural war going on that's kind of relevant for video games and movies and all things in society. It's kind of all woven together. You can't talk about one without bringing up the other. And when we bring up the other, I'm very passionate about it, and I don't hold back. I don't change my opinion for other people. Even Craig's mother. Granted, you did a great job on this guy. Don't tell him I said that. All right, because ego.
You get big head.
Yeah, so just don't tell him. But good work on that though. But I'm not
still
gonna.
Waiting for the email though.
I'm not gonna change who I am.
So she said not me. She's clearly talking about you, Blabs. All right.
No, she's talking about me. Obviously.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Oh, Diana says over on Rumble says it's a mom thing, along with the harsh language. I learned to wear my headphones because my mama doesn't appreciate it. Old school when ladies wasn't exposed to man talk.
Man talk. I know girls that curse like sailors. All right, it's not just men. All right, that's a cultural thing also. I think.
If everybody in the chat can just please apologize to my mom for the horrible language today, that'd be great. Not you guys, just everybody in the chat. Hey, Walker says not a very welcoming panel. I think we've been very welcoming today. Have we not been very?
Yeah. What does that even mean?
Yeah. It was. Is it because we shit on Disney? Maybe they came in when we're shitting on Disney.
And if you don't like it, get out of here.
Yeah. When did that even come in? When did that even come in?
That was 12:02. It's about 20 minutes ago. I did see it when it came in, so it wasn't. That's okay. Mike Reed thing says, who needs the legacy characters? They're quote unquote problematic. Some SJWs are even outraged about Salah's character in the Indiana Jones franchise being non-Egyptian. Oh, well, of course. I am 16-bit says Disney screwed up Star Wars so much that I'm not sure there's any way they can salvage the franchise. Well,
there is, but they're not going to do it.
And Jeremy Wormy says Disney pays themselves for streaming. Yes, we talked about that, and that's crazy. And Hate Army came in with the 100-bit says, Get Woke, Go Broke fails to account for the fact that all the companies that get woke do so because their value isn't the service they provide to consumers. Rather, they are vehicles for control of the culture of our civilization. As a product, they are loss leaders for the real value, controlling what people believe. Thank you, Hate Army, for the 100 bits. Appreciate that. All right. Let's finish up with some gaming news before we bid adieu.
Well, there's a shit ton of me. I'm seeing 13 memes.
Yes.
Do you have time? Because you got the Funathon again.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, this ties into the Funathon, so I want to get in this. So
burn it.
The Funathon is happening every day at 1:00 for the foreseeable future. Today I'm playing Mario 64, but today there are some games that could potentially be added to the Mario Funathon, which once again, hopefully you guys are here in about 30 minutes from now. It will get started. Maybe a little late because Sideshow has been going long. But Nintendo announced today that there'll be 3 classic GBA titles added to the Nintendo Switch, which we could potentially play. Let's check it out. Let's go. The first game up on the list, the Mario Advanced games. Oh, baby.
Oh, wow. That was a fun game.
Yep. So coming up like next week, so we could potentially maybe add those games to our Mario Funathon. So just heads up, all the Mario Advanced games from the GBA, which are like souped up versions of the original games. So Super Mario World has now added features, and Super Mario 3's added features, and
but
so
didn't
it's
you
pretty
just play
exciting.
those? Would that count as like a new game?
They're pretty different. They have different features attached to them. They have all sorts of unique things. But
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't
maybe.
think so. I don't think so. I think you already did it.
I will let the G2s decide ultimately.
Fine.
If
me,
that
right?
is no.
Sorry, Craig's mom.
Sorry, Craig's mom.
Every time
Jeremy,
I swear,
do
I'm
see
going to
this-
say that now.
Hashtag. Sorry, Craig's mom.
Wait, double hashtag?
Hey,
Double hashtag.
hashtag.
Hash-
Yes, triple
hashtag double.
hashtag.
Triple
Jeremy says
hashtag.
tag Craig on Twitter with the investor suit. This is the suit that they're speaking about. Disney hit with investor streaming suit over alleged cost shifting scheme in streaming division. So this is just a couple days ago now. Today is the 19th. This was on the 15th. So investors take issue with former CEO Bob Chapek's optimism about Disney Plus growth and expected profitability. Well, we need to dig into this a little bit deeper, but let's go and get into the memes for now, and let's check all this stuff out because there are lots of memes today. First one from Astro. Looks like they've already set a date for Detractor Con, which is great. May 1st. Oh, that makes sense. May 1st, which is the anniversary of the thing.
Of course.
Yes, which would actually be like really, really funny to do it on May 1st. That's actually great. So, and you can see it's got all the usuals attached to it, including it's a positive, chill, fun environment, which is great with all sorts of great. I think this is actually pretty brilliant, and I actually may just follow this to a T. We'll see. Then we have this with my gamer face. Looks like me with another couple hundred pounds
you should
at
make
it.
the emote.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I like it. We should do
I think
that.
you should make an emote.
Maybe if it
then we
had
have this
side
one.
scroller's hat, but
Maybe. Then we got the Superman if he wasn't scared of green rocks. This looks like the Indiana Jones trailer, which will probably get flagged for, but that's okay.
You think he'd be proud of this?
Who?
George Lucas.
I'm sorry, Sam. No way. No way. I don't want you here. Ow. Ow.
What the heck? What is that? Wait, hold on. What is that?
You've never seen this video?
No, what is that about?
He's kicking someone out of the writer's room, and
somebody
had
punched
like
him?
a little. I don't know what he was trying to do. Like,
Is it a blooper?
push his shoulder. I don't know what the heck happened here.
Oh, okay. Let's continue on though.
Out! Out!
That's funny. Wow. I'm most intrigued by this right here. The idea that he's kicking somebody out. I've never seen that before. I can't wait to see
Maybe
it.
is it a blooper? I think it's a skit. Yeah, it's a skit. Chad says it's a skit.
Is
That's
it?
what I
Oh,
thought.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's a funny
gotta
skit.
be
It's
like
not real.
a skit from Clone Wars.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Maybe it's
then we have
Dave
this one.
Filoni. We don't even realize.
We have this from Extra Zero. Says when Melanie Mac appears on side scrollers, we're all churning butter over here for for Melanie Mac, which is great.
Can you tag? Is she tagged?
Yeah, she's tagged right there. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, yeah.
So,
I gotta share that.
and then we have Omni Crag over here from Superman.
That's pretty
Thank you so
badass
much.
looking, dude. That's pretty badass.
That may be my new profile pic. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's pretty
start
cool.
that right now. Let's get on that. Let's get on. That's nice. Thank you so much. Looking sharp. And then we have this one from Cloud. It says wise words of blabs. My biggest issue: stairs.
It's that old
blab.
woman in her.
That's right.
It's the arthritis.
Yeah.
Cover your eyes, kids. Craig, when asking if you've ever heard of
Oh, God.
cans before,
Oh my
have you
God.
ever heard of cans before?
Canes?
Hold on. Yeah, have you ever?
It's pronounced cans.
Yes,
I don't-
cans.
Apparently.
Can,
I still don't know. Okay.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
Cannes
I guess
Film
it's Cannes
Festival.
Film Festival.
There you go. This one from Stephen Scheckler says Indiana Jones in the afternoon nap.
That's fantastic.
We got Adam Krugler versus Stuttering Craig. Tell me this DLC is next. Let's go. Utilizing that.
That is
That's
cool.
good stuff. Good stuff.
I
right
like
there.
it. I like it.
Oh, this is a great one right here. Extra Zero says Indiana Jones. I want to see. Adam Coogler smuggling the UFO out of the cult compound. Look at that right there. That's beautiful.
Funny enough, my wife is the one who went and took the UFO from the infamous Timcast IRL desk and brought it to me. So that was actually my wife who took it. I said once that I took it, and she was like, "You did not take it." She like came from the other side of the house, like I was live, and she's like, "You're not taking this from me. That was me." I'm like, all right. Pretty funny though. I like it.
Horny Alf says this could work. I agree.
See it.
All right,
100%. 100%.
It's a round face. I don't know. I like him, but I enjoy his stuff, but I don't know. I can't get behind it.
We got Horny Alf again. Says breaking. Disney World Star Cruiser closing permanently in September. We got Spirit Halloween. This guy is probably my favorite. This is probably my favorite meme right now.
Yeah,
this guy just standing in the corner. It's so good, so good. And then we have this final one from Extra Zero. It says,
and there's one more in the private chat. Just
okay. It says, of course, Craig knows OG Yoda. I can't wait to see this.
Look at this.
He don't know.
No, I do know. I do know that's not Baby Yoda. That's OG.
I've got glorious ears.
Of course.
Classic.
Of course. Classic. Let me make sure we got. Man, that was a lot today. You guys have been on fire. Oh, we got even more holy bajolies.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been nuts today. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
For the support and the creation and your all sorts of just creativity. I love it. Let's continue on over here. And there we go. Let's see. Got this one from Superman again. Got a nice little side scrollers. Love that. That's good. Love that. Thank you very much.
Thanks for making me indie. That's cool.
Love it. Then we have this final one.
My jackass dad that I don't get along with.
That's right. Hey. Then life lessons from Adam. There you go.
Don't be a bitch. That's fantastic. That is
that should be your
good.
new banner for your Twitter.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch.
All right. Okay, I know with the Mario Funathon, we've had a tough go of it with all sorts of, like we haven't been able to do a post show over on Patreon, but I appreciate you guys understanding as we make that happen with the Funathon. But the Funathon has been really, really good. Once again, I'm back with Mario 64 here in about 30 minutes or so. Look forward to having you guys back. So make sure you guys show up. It's been really, really fun. Look forward to seeing you guys there. Blabs, Trav, Adam, what do you guys got?
Well, first of all, on Twitch's side, the A player 30 for 100 biddy says, "Hi, Blabs." So hello. Tonight I'll be on Destiny. I'll be playing Destiny on Kick. There you go. English. 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. Adam?
Well, I'm just doing some bounty prep in Destiny. I've been attempting duality solo flawless. I tried yesterday and got really frustrated because I died from some stupid shit. But I will be attempting again tonight. I really want to get that. I've solo flawless every dungeon except duality in Destiny 2. So that is my next thing that I'm trying to do. We're talking about Skinwalker Ranch again. A new episode came out on the Secret of the Skinwalker. So that's Sunday on Forbidden Frontier. Then, of course, next week, Bay Staff returns. It hasn't gone anywhere, but it's there. Hopefully, Tuesday Titans is going to come back next week because George has been down for the count. He's been sick for a few weeks now. So I haven't really talked about politics. I feel like there's a lot that has happened that I need to vent. So anyway, that should be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys there.
Trav?
I just want to make sure we read this last Diana
Blake letting
Rumble
everybody
rant.
Nintendo wanted to send on the Funathon. Absolutely. Thank you, Blake. And
I don't know if we read it, so
you read it. Didn't you read it?
Oh, you know what? Actually, Diana came in with
2 of them.
A different one.
This is Craig's mama. I understand you, as I am not a fan of sailor talk, as Adam stated. Love you, and God bless your son is a good man. Hey, thanks, Diana. I appreciate that. Definitely not.
Thanks for supporting us through our sailor talk, Diana.
And follow me on Twitter. That's it.
That's right. All right, you guys, if you haven't, make sure you guys follow us over on Rumble, rumble.com/sidescrollers. You can find us over at patreon.com/sidescrollers. It has been a wonderful week of programming. I got to be honest. I'm going to be very much enjoying not streaming tonight after the Funathon. I'm going to watch a little Stars hockey tonight as they get into the Western Conference Finals. I'm going to be rooting heavily for them. Did you get? But just total side note. I know you guys didn't, but did you guys know there's a hockey game that went 4 overtimes yesterday? One of the longest games
you
ever.
were right. No, none of us knew.
It's awesome.
Was it like anyone I actually care about?
The Panthers and the Canes, but it was
care less. Never mind.
No.
It was a 7 overtime game. It was really, really fun to watch. So it was nuts. But yeah, so anyways, thank you guys very much for being a part of our life, allowing you to be a part of yours. We've had a really fun week. Once again, next week we have Camelot 331 on Monday, Quarter Black Garrett joining us, and Shagsworth as well. You can follow us over at Twitter at Side Scroller Pod. And make sure you guys join me here in about 25 minutes or so when I return for the Mario Funathon. And I need your help legitimately because I suck at Mario 64, and it's going to be bad. So with all that said, remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. We'll see you guys ready to go here at the Funathon, and then Monday for Side Scrollers. See you guys.
Bye.
No fatality today.
What?
I'm hurt.
What?
No.
You're not cutting them off individually.
We're not going anywhere, Adam, until you eat your vegetables and say fatality.
We're not going anywhere.
Okay, see you guys later.
No.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
Could do this all day.
We'll do this all day.
What are you, Chris Evans? Freaking Steve Rogers?
Nope.
I could do this all day. No, I got a nicer ass.
I don't want to know, actually. Christ. Oh, no, he's even frozen laughing.
Got him. All right, fine.
Fatality.
Yes.